I want to delve into the depths of our emotions. I want to welcome each of you to another thought-provoking episode of the Self-Aware Leader Podcast. We're going to get into today a little bit of emotions. We're going to get into exploring how we can understand ourselves and how we can become better leaders and human beings. And in this episode today, I want to discuss a fundamental impact that changes lives dramatically. And that could change your life right now, right this moment, if you would begin to embrace this. And that is love and the right to give and receive it. And I know it's natural for human beings to crave love and connection. It's literally in our DNA. That's what we want to do. As humans, we've prospered because of it. However, some people struggle. They struggle with giving or receiving affection. They struggle with being hugged. They struggle with even experiencing super deep emotions. And if you're one of those people, you, through societal norms and beliefs, religious beliefs, whatever it may be, you unconsciously believe that you're undeserving of love. I talk to so many people that believe that they're undeserving of love. And it's so sad to me. But in this episode, we're going to explore the reasons behind these emotional barriers and how to break through them to embrace love wholeheartedly. So let's get into the emotional barriers to love. Number one, guys, and I think this is huge, is past trauma. Or it may not be trauma to you, maybe it was negative experiences that was shaped around love. Our past experiences, particular in any form of trauma or emotional abuse, has significant impacts on our ability to give and receive love. And a lot of times these experiences lead us to associate love and affection with pain or disappointment. And it will make us hesitate to engage in such emotions again because we associate love and affection with pain or disappointment. And I know a lot of you may have felt this, and it may have led you to associate the love and affection, and you've put it with pain or disappointment. And so whenever you meet someone and you may get excited about them, it makes you hesitate. And there's this hesitation to engage in such emotions again. And another one that we can dive into is fear of vulnerability. Opening up to love requires us to be vulnerable. And that is so frightening for some. The fear of vulnerability may stem from a fear of being hurt, rejected, or judged. We've all had points in our lives where we were vulnerable and the person that we were vulnerable hurt us, they rejected us, or they judged us. And our ego loves to grab hold like a tiger grabs hold of anything. Our ego grabs hold of that hurt, rejectment, and that judgment, and it will hold on to it as hard as it can. And then the minute, and it's just got it right there, ready to go. And the minute that you feel uncomfortable, guess what? It's going to reveal it to you and be like, see, you need to run away from this. See, you need to go hide. See, you can't be happy. This hurt, rejection, or judgment, this trauma, what was done to you, this is it. This is who you are. You're this victim, and you're a victim to me, the ego. This fear may hold us back from fully embracing love and affection because as we put up barriers to protect ourselves from potential emotional pain, and that's what we do, we put up barriers or walls. And so we have all of this superficial. This is Jason but he's got 22 walls separating him before he experiences emotional pain. And we've gotten very, very, especially in today's society, very good at being elaborate with our barriers. Oh, they look so pretty. We got Louis Vuitton barriers, Chanel barriers. We got the best looking barriers out there. We've got bespoke, perfectly with perfect fabric and material barriers. And it all it does is protect ourselves from potential. The ego likes potential emotional pain. Next is low self-worth. Our sense of self-worth plays a crucial role in our ability to give and receive love. If we believe that we're undeserving of love or affection, we may unconsciously push it away. This is where if you had a lot of not sarcasm, I like sarcasm as long as it's to a point, but if you had a lot of hurtful relatives around you or parents and they said mean things about you, and then you believe you're undeserving. You believe you're undeserving of success. You believe you're undeserving of money. You believe that you're undeserving of true friendship or relationships. You're just undeserving of love. And so what happens is unconsciously, your ego pushes it away. So you will run away any moment that you see any type of spark of something that could have intimacy. And I'm talking about intimacy just sexually. I'm talking about any type of intimacy, mental, whatever it may be, emotional. You're going to push it away. And it's important to acknowledge and work on improving our self worth. Because when we improve our self worth, we organically begin to truly embrace love in our lives. Next is breaking through emotional barriers. And this comes into play from the name of the podcast, and that's self reflection and awareness. The first step to breaking through these fancy, multifaceted emotional barriers is self reflection. Take the time to explore your feelings and emotions and identify, keyword right here, the root cause of your resistance to love and affection. Find out what it is. Oh, my dad was mean to me and he said mean things to me when I was a teenager. Okay, well, that's where it's coming from. Am I that teenager anymore? No, I'm not. I'm 40 years old. I'm not 13. Was the things that he said to me true? No, they were not. I am not the person that my dad said that I was. I know that for a fact. Why? Because I know this about me, and I know this about me, and I know I did this, and I know I did this. And I believe that God would never put a human on earth that could not be loved. God is love, right? Is love. Everything is love. Even things that we don't understand, there's love involved. Even in suffering, there's so much potential of love, isn't there? Find the root cause. Am I going to believe that 13-year-old girl where her dad is yelling at her and telling her what a piece of shit she is? Am I going to believe that 13-year-old girl? Am I going to believe my dad? No, I'm not. That's all false. Hurt people hurt people. My dad was hurting, and so he chose to hurt me, as he did everyone else. I'm not special. In fact, I love doing this exercise. This is a really good one to do. Is you right now pretend that you're going back and that you're a counselor and you're going to go back and talk to your 13-year-old self. What would you tell your 13-year-old self? If you could be in that room right then and say, hey, you know me, I'm future me, I'm future you. And then your 13-year-old self's like wigged out, like, oh my God, this is crazy. It's the future. I was like, I've come back from the future to talk to you. And here's what I want to tell you, 13-year-old Jason. What would you say? That's such a great exercise to get to the root cause of your resistance to love and affection. Acknowledge and accept your feelings and be open to understanding and working through them. If you need to seek professional help, if you're struggling to break through your emotional barriers on your own, seeking professional help from a therapist or counselor can be a huge resource for you. It allows you to be able to talk and be open because they can provide guidance, support, and also give you necessary tools to help you work through your feelings and develop healthier emotional patterns. And that's what you want to do. You want to break the old toxic patterns and create healthier emotional patterns for you. Next, practice self-compassion and empathy. As you're working on breaking through your emotional barriers, it's essential to practice self-compassion and empathy. You've got to give your guys, you got to give yourself a break. Empathy is so important. How can you show compassion, empathy to somebody else and not to yourself first? Understand this is a healing and growth phase, and it is a process. And you're going to stumble along the way. You're going to have bad days. You're going to have good days. Give yourself a break. Treat yourself with kindness and patience. Don't yell at yourself. Don't get angry at yourself. If you screw something up with someone, you say something you shouldn't have, you got angry again, you got depressed again, you started crying again. In those moments, treat yourself with kindness and patience. And as you extend that same compassion and empathy to yourself, you'll begin to extend it to others as well. Next, develop trusting relationships. Building strong, trusting relationships with friends, family, and romantic partners will help you feel more comfortable with love and affection. You've got to actively be proactive and work on this. I would have lunches and dinners and take people out, make a list, your two closest people, three closest people, five closest people. Say, hey, I'm working on this, this, and this. I'm trying to become more self aware with this, this, and this. I want to develop a trusting relationship, and I want our relationship to be strong. And I just want to get comfortable with love and affection. And I know I haven't been that like I should. Can we talk to this tonight? Do you mind if we have a discussion on this about our relationship and what that looks like? They would be so willing to do that. And you would be showing love to them by doing that, by being open. By surrounding yourself with supportive and loving individuals, you will begin to feel safer and more secure. And in that safety and security, it gives you ability to give and receive love. And I'm going to close in this, guys. Embracing love and affection in our lives is a vital part of our emotional well being. It gives us an overall happiness. And if you can begin identifying and working through your emotional barriers, then you can learn to love wholeheartedly. You will become more self aware. You will become a better and more compassionate leader. And remember, as a human being, you have the right, you have the God given right to love and be loved. Don't let your ego, your emotional barriers hold you back. They're false. It's bad news. It's false news. It is not real. What is real is your right to be loved. So don't let any of that hold you back from experiencing the fullness of love that life has to offer.